Good morning. Today I'm making a pine tar soap. I've been watching lots of videos on YouTube and doing a lot of my own research as well. Soaping 101 has a good video that I recommend watching. I've decided to use aloe vera in place of my water. So I've got aloe vera from the supermarket. This is 99.9% aloe vera, Australian grown and owned. You can buy it at Safeways. And I'm using full water because this pine tar will cause rapid trace. So you really need to work quickly. So I wouldn't recommend doing a water discount with a pine tar soap. And I've also got it inside a metal bucket. I don't expect any issues, but just because I'm doing this inside for the video, put it inside a bucket just in case. So I'm just going to add my lye. And because I'm not expecting this soap to be very bubbly at all, I'm going to add some honey to my hot lye solution just to dissolve the honey before it gets added to the soap batter. I've tried adding honey a few different ways, and I have found if it's not completely melted down and mixed with some boiling water or something, it can often leave speckles in your finished soap. So for that reason I'm adding to my hot lye water. So it's local honey, Gels honey. And this should help with the lather. So I'm doing 4 kilos of oils, so I'm going to add approximately 4 tablespoons of honey. So those were both really heaped, so it probably adds up to close to 4 tablespoons. Look at the colour change in the lye solution. So no issues whatsoever with my aloe vera or my honey. I have found when I add the honey first to the cold water and then add the caustic soda to that, it does foam up a little bit. So I think adding the honey to the already hot lye solution is the better way to go if you're wanting to add honey this way. So that's all stirred in. I'm going to put that aside now and leave it to completely cool down, and then we'll come back and finish making this soap. Okay, so we're back. My lye water solution has cooled down. I have all my oils in here. The recipe that I've made up, I didn't follow Soaping 101's recipe, I made my own. And I'm using tallow, olive oil, coconut oil, the pine tar, shea butter and castor oil. I'm actually doing 20% pine tar. So this is just my oils. And I'm going to add to this 4 tablespoons of colloidal oatmeal. So I'm adding all this all my additives before I add my lye solution, because this is going to be a racer. Now I was tossing up whether to add my lye solution to the oils and fats that I've got in here right now and then whisk my pine tar in later. That's what originally I was planning on doing, but I am worried that it will set up faster than I can whisk. So I think what I will do will be to add my pine tar now and add my lye solution while I'm blending, and then just get it into the mould quickly. So the colloidal oatmeal is supposed to be quite soothing, so that's why I've added that. The aloe is also supposed to be soothing. I'm not going to add any essential oils to this because I'm quite sure that the smell of the pine tar will overpower the scent of any essential oils that I add, so I won't worry about that. So I'll just get my pine tar now. So pine tar you can get from most stock feed stores. You can also buy it online. Just make sure whichever one you get is 100% pure pine tar. The Equinade one actually says on the side that it's suitable for use in soap making, but as long as it's 100% pure pine tar, you should be fairly right. So I measured mine out already, and I actually softened it a little bit in the microwave because it is so thick. So I just put it in the microwave for a minute just to loosen it up a little bit. So I'll blend this in very well, and then we will add the lye solution and hope that we don't have too many issues. So it definitely has its own distinct scent, but it's not a terrible smell. I mean, it's not a lovely smell, but it's not terrible. Neem seed oil is much worse. It's a very earthy kind of campfire type of a scent, I think. So we'll give this one a really good blend as well. I'm just using my spatula at the same time to make sure I'm not leaving any on the bottom, because I imagine that it could quite easily just sit down the bottom there. Okay. So my aloe lye solution with honey added. Just give that a little stir, and I will carefully pour it in. A little bit nervous actually. Just hope it doesn't turn rock solid as soon as I pour it. I can feel it really thickening up already. I just want to make sure it's thoroughly blended before I pour it in. It's really starting to thicken up now. I'm glad I did it this way. I imagine pouring the pine tar in after would have been quite hard to blend. Going to scrape away from the edges as well. It's getting so thick. I mean, still quite manageable, but very thick. I think I might leave it there. It's well blended, very, very thick. Keep my stick blender in a jug of hot water when I'm not using it, just to keep it clean in between batches of soap. Right. Okay, ready to pour this then. I don't actually take temperatures. I don't measure the temperature of anything very rarely, so sorry, maybe I should have done that for this, just for the record. But gosh, it looks like chocolate, doesn't it? Yum. Shame it doesn't smell like chocolate. And I'm going to keep a bar of this for myself, more out of curiosity. I don't have problem skin, but more just for curiosity's sake, to see what it's like to use. So that definitely wasn't as racy as I thought it was going to be. I mean, it really did speed up quickly, but it was quite manageable. And I think I'll swirl the top with a chopstick just to give it some texture. So it definitely looks just like chocolate. I'm glad that went as smoothly as it did. I'll bring you down for a look, and then I'm not actually sure if this is going to be ready to cut sooner, or just I normally cut probably 15 hours after I make my soap. I'm not sure whether this will take longer or shorter before it's ready to cut. We'll find out. I'll bring you down for a look. Right, we're up to cutting this now. It looks delicious. I'm very pleased with how it's turned out. I'll just line it up here. So pine tar's been used for hundreds of years in soap making to help people with like itchy, dry, flaky skin. So this soap would be something that people with eczema or psoriasis might find beneficial to try. And let's have a look what we have. It just looks so nice. Looks like something you could eat. And it doesn't smell terrible. I don't dislike the smell. So there we go, good old-fashioned pine tar soap, and this will be available in 4 weeks, which will be around about the 27th of June. So I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I'll catch you on my next video.